To apply our eye makeup, I'm going to use a mixture of Mod Podge and my fine glitter. Again, the glitter is going to be whatever color you desire for your makeup palette. So just put a little Mod Podge, and then I'll just put my glitter right on top. And we do it this way because once the Mod Podge uh, dries, it dries transparent. So the only thing that's going to be left showing is our glitter. So you just mix that in. And I do recommend. Okay, so we've installed a little over half of row 2. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and glue down our head. Isn't she cute? So to glue our head in, you're just going to turn it on the back side and put your hot glue around the edges. And your head comes in your kit already ready to attach with a flat back because I've already adjusted it by cutting off the parts that would make it sit unevenly. We want it to be able to adhere to the board. So we're going to, alright, so I'm going to come right down here to row 4 and press her down. And she's going to fit right in there like we want her to. And just hold it down for just a moment. Okay. So now I'm going to apply some glue to the outside of her. And I'm not doing this all the way around, just the part that, the upper part. And this is just some added hold. Okay. She's not as secure as I want her. She's down pretty good. Okay, so we've got our head glued on, and we're going to continue on making our Diva Wreath by attaching our mesh. And as I told you previously, in each bundle of hair we have 3 pieces of mesh. So I've pre-cut my mesh, and I suggest you do the same. It just makes it easier and you don't have to keep stopping. You're just able to flow. So constructing our bundles of hair, we're going to take our 3 pieces that have been cut 10 inches a piece in a square. And for this design, I have the black and white mesh and the purple. So I've got a clothespin because this mesh is a little different. It's has cotton running through it, which makes it a little bit more prone to uncurl. So I'm curling my mesh, attaching my clothespin, setting that piece to the side. And as you can see, pre-cutting it just allows me to go a little bit more fluidly through my rolls. Take it, pinch it in the middle, add my second piece, and here comes my last piece. And you're just curling it up, and you're doing it on the side that's curling up anyway. Okay. So I have my 3 pieces of mesh. I'm going to pinch in the center, and I'm going to turn counterclockwise. Was that clockwise? I always get it confused. I'm going to sit it right there in the middle of my zip tie. Close my zip tie. And as I close my zip tie, I turn my mesh that way because I want my hair to go outwards. And you just get that zip tie in there really good. Pull as tight as you can. Take your wire cutters. Cut your tail off. Okay. And we're ready to move to our next piece. She's going to be very full and very pretty. And again, we're going to do the same process. As you see, I've got the piece sitting up on the side that curls up. And I'm just going to bend it inwards and begin my curl. Just start rolling until you get to the end of the square. Clothespin to hold it in place. Sit to the side. I'm going to do the same thing with my purple piece. Squeeze in the middle and cut that little and twist. Okay, now I'm going to place it right there in between that zip tie. I'm going to go through the middle. As tight as I can, and you see I slide that zip tie down to the board, and then I tighten. And I apologize for the phone ringing. I thought I had muted that.
You have reached Diva Wreath Kit. I am not available to take your call at this time. Please leave your name, contact information, and a brief message, and I will return your call shortly. Thank you.
If you can see my face right now.
Get out and vote. This is the most important election we've ever had. There has never been an election more important than this one. Joe Biden and the radical left want to completely destroy our country, raise your taxes, increase your regulations, get rid of your Second Amendment and many other bad things. We can't let it happen. Please get out and vote. Thank you very much. As the president said, he needs you to vote on Tuesday, November 3rd. In North Carolina, polls are open from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. This call is paid for by the Los Angeles President since 467361779.
so we've got row 2 complete. And now we're going to start on row 3. So I'm going to go ahead and load in my zip ties. And we're only using the 2 holes that are together. We're not using the single hole. You can see there. Camera angle a little off. There we go. You can see I'm loading up this row 3. There we go. And we're putting the zip ties with the flat end of the head up. And so we're going to come around to the other side. Okay, so you see we've got row 3 ready to go. Pull another set of mesh over here. And I hope that my camera angle is correct, that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so again, the flat side of the mesh is up, and we are continuing to create our curls for our bundle of hair. And of course, like I said previously, the curl is a cut that you really don't have to worry too much about your raw edges. As you see, when I'm placing the bundles together, I'm putting the inside, see that raw edge? I'm putting them together so that they're in the inside of the bundle. And any strays we have, we just pull on out or cut out. And this is the last piece for this bundle. And once you've done this a few times, it just goes so quickly. And depending on what kind of mesh you have, you can create different looks. Okay, so, and as you can see, this is a tight, full wreath. And we've only completed 1 row, and it already looks very full. But now we're just filling in that last, and slide that zip tie down as tight as you can get it. This is by far the easiest way to create this wreath with my kit. This board just makes it so much easier, and you can get a more consistent design as far as how it looks, rather than using the green wire wreath, which just creates a whole lot more work, more steps, and more material. Especially if you're going to be selling these. And you can even, I cut my squares in 10 inches because I like it that way. But if you wanted to save some material, you could even cut this at 9 inches. And that 1 inch will give you so much more mesh, use of your mesh out of that roll. Okay, squeeze together, twist, zip tie here. Look how pretty she's nestled in there. Okay. Grab another roll. We're almost done. And another great benefit of getting a kit is that when the head comes to you, she's already sealed, painted, and you're just adding in whatever makeup that you would like to add, her eyebrows, her eyelashes, and painting on her lipstick. So I would say after you do your prep, total assembly time, probably about 2 hours, if that. Very easy kit. And following along with these steps, you should be able to assemble your first time 3D Diva Wreath like a pro. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a question on this video and I certainly will answer. And when I'm putting it in this row, I keep my hand in the center until I get it down. And then just finding my zip tie. Can't really see what I'm doing down in there, but I've already showed you several times while we were applying. It's the same technique. And you are going to have a few frays, and you can just cut those off. Oh, she's so cute. Okay. So, I've got one here. And same with any deco mesh, the more you handle it, the more you're going to cause it to begin to ravel. So when you're adjusting her hair, don't yank it. Very gently, just move it where you want it to be. The most time-consuming part of the entire wreath, in my opinion, is actually getting the head prepared to go on and doing all the things necessary to attach her to your wreath. But when it comes to you, because you have purchased this kit, you don't have to worry about any of that. We have 3 more left. And then we'll be ready to put on her accessories, if any. This is entirely up to you. On how much you want to accessorize her. I mean, she's pretty right now without anything, but I want to add a few things to her. And these zip ties with this board just, the whole process is just, you're not going to have to worry about anything coming loose. You're not going to have to worry about any of that. And I'm going to show you the back of the board in just a minute on how it looks back there. Oh, pulled out one of my zip ties. Let me stick that back in there real quick. Make sure I got it in the right hole. Okay, so we've got 2 more bundles to put in there, and she is going to be ready for the next and final step. And as you can see, this is probably a piece off the end of the roll. It's naturally already wanting to curl up, so you don't have much work to do. Okay. Squeeze in the middle, twist, and you can see how I keep my fingers on that bundle to help me keep my place as I'm putting it in. Okay. The last 2 pieces are a little bit tight there, so but once you get it in there, okay. And now we're to our last and final piece. Okay, so we are finishing up, wrapping up this 3D Diva Kit wreath. The only thing that I have left to do is just to, like I said, attach my accessories. And I have this for her little neck scarf. And you can use whatever it is that you choose to use. And I'm just going to attach this here. And I'm going to fan it out just a little bit. And it's going to actually connect here. So I'm just going to put my hot glue on it. And I'm going to be rather generous because I don't want this to come off. Okay. Uh-oh. It's one of the things I hate about hot glue, the strings. Okay. I'm going to hold it for just a moment. I'm going to put a little bit more right there as I want that to stay down. Cut off this little. And a little trick you can use after you finish your wreath and you're done with it, and you can take a blow dryer and just go over it to get rid of any glue strings that may be lurking around, because you want your wreath to look professional, and that's all part of finishing up your wreath. Just a few little things here that I don't like. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to put on her headpiece. Make sure I got it on the right side. Okay, here we go. First, I'm going to measure it across, and I'm going to let it go down just. Okay, I'm going to do the first side. Some hot glue. It is so hard to tell if this thing is on the right side or not. Okay. I pulled it back off because I wasn't quite certain I had it on the right side, but it was, so. Okay, here we go. And now to put it on the other side. Put that in there. There we go. So I measured it to see where I need to cut it off at. Now I'm going to put the hot glue up here. And lay it down where I want it to go. Okay, so now for the flowers. And I have this white hydrangea here that I'm actually going to clip and use here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip tie and this is not really part of your tutorial because of course you're going to have whatever flower you desire to use, if you use one at all. I didn't want the huge hydrangea because I just thought it was too big, so I'm going to use half on her scarf, and I'm going to put another one in her hair. Okay, so now I'm just going to clip off my, and now I'm going to cut it at the bottom. Okay, slide it up just a little bit. And I left part of the stem up there because it's just easier to attach it that way. Okay, so I'm just putting it where I want it before I put any glue. Make sure that that's where I wanted it. And now I'm just going to lay it against her neck and hold. Okay, and my mesh is actually going to do the job of helping it stay where I want it to stay. Let's clip off this end here. Okay, so where do I want it exactly? Push this up just a little bit. Okay, I think that's where I wanted to go. And now, Pencil it right in there. Okay, so our 3D Diva Wreath is complete, and she is gorgeous. And I think my client will be very well pleased. Of course, I'm going to go back and do my trimming to make sure that I've got any of the frays that are sticking out. And then I will be able to let her cure for about 24 hours before I treat her with my UV spray, and that just keeps the mesh from fading as quickly in the outside elements. I'm sure not to spray her face when I treat the mesh, because it can cause the styrofoam to melt, and you certainly don't want that after all your hard work. I usually take a plastic bag and just tuck it in around her face, and then I give my wreath a good spray and let it dry, and she's good to go. I do thank you for joining me for this 3D wreath tutorial. If you want to purchase my kit, the link is in my bio. The supply list will also be listed there. And if you are interested in any of my other tutorials that will be coming, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And again, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.